She was America's perfect Marcia Brady, but behind her iconic role, Maureen McCormick's battles against addiction, typecasting, and depression is far more real than any TV script could ever write. Stay tuned to learn about her wild story. In 1968, 12-year-old Maureen walked into an audition room in Hollywood. Little did she know that this ordinary day would change her life forever. Maureen McCormick was no stranger to the camera. At just 6 years old, she won the Baby Miss San Fernando Valley beauty pageant. As a child actress, she did television commercials for Mattel's Baby Pebbles doll, and also played small roles in TV shows like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. But this audition was different. The stakes were higher, the competition fierce. Young Maureen stood among a sea of hopeful actresses, all competing for the coveted role of the eldest daughter in a new family sitcom. The producers were searching for the perfect all-American girl, someone who could embody the ideal big sister, the crush of every boy next door. At age 12, Maureen beat out 1,200 other kids, and she was the only one chosen to play Marcia Brady in The Brady Bunch. In 1969, Maureen McCormick stepped into the shoes of Marcia Brady, the eldest daughter of the Brady family. Maureen's portrayal of the eldest Brady daughter resonated deeply with audiences. Marcia was pretty, popular, and seemed to have it all together. The quintessential American teenager that girls wanted to be and boys wanted to date. Maureen brought a genuine charm and relatability to the role. As the show's popularity grew, so did Maureen's fame. Fan mail poured in. Teenage boys plastered their walls with her posters. Girls copied her hairstyle and fashion choices. Maureen found herself at the center of a cultural phenomenon. Her face splashed across magazine covers and her name on everyone's lips. The Brady Bunch quickly became a cultural phenomenon. For 5 years, Maureen's face was plastered across TV screens nationwide. Her character became the epitome of the all-American girl next door. Well, America's perfect teenager smiled brightly to millions of TV screens, but behind the scenes, a completely different story was unfolding. As Maureen recalled, "For most of my life, people have expected me to be perfect. That's because I played the role of Marcia Brady, a pretty girl from a flawless family." This expectation of perfection wasn't just coming from fans, it was a pressure Maureen felt deeply within herself. As Marcia Brady, Maureen McCormick portrayed the ideal all-American girl, pretty, popular, and perpetually put together. But as the show's popularity soared, the line between Maureen and Marcia began to blur dangerously. Fans didn't just love Marcia Brady, they expected Maureen to be Marcia. Every public appearance, every fan interaction, every interview became a performance. Maureen felt the weight of millions of expectations pressing down on her young shoulders. The pressure to maintain Marcia's squeaky clean image was suffocating. As Maureen entered her late teens and early 20s, the difference between her public image and private reality grew more pronounced. She began to experiment with drugs and partying, seeking an escape from the relentless pressure of being America's perfect teenager. Relationships proved challenging. How could any real boy live up to the ideal of Marcia's picture-perfect romances? Maureen found herself struggling to form genuine connections, always wondering if people were interested in her or the character she played. The actress began to develop severe body image issues, constantly comparing herself unfavorably to her co-stars. This internal struggle manifested in the form of bulimia, a battle that would plague her for years to come. The show ended in 1974. Many years later, in her autobiography, Maureen courageously shared her struggles with addiction, depression, and the overwhelming pressure of living up to Marcia's image. But the end of the show didn't give her relief. But as she ventured out for new roles, she quickly realized that in the eyes of producers, directors, and audiences, she wasn't Maureen McCormick. She was, and seemingly always would be, Marcia Brady. Maureen found herself typecast, struggling to land any serious acting roles. This typecast rejections, coupled with her ongoing body image issues, pushed her towards a dangerous coping mechanism. Maureen now started taking drugs. Maureen's descent into addiction began with cocaine and Quaaludes. What started as experimentation quickly spiraled into a full-blown habit. The drugs offered a temporary escape from the pressures of fame and her own insecurities. However, this escape came at a steep price. As her addiction worsened, Maureen's behavior became increasingly erratic. She began missing auditions and showing up to sets in no condition to work. This culminated in a disastrous audition for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Maureen arrived high on cocaine, having not slept for 3 days. Needless to say, she didn't get the part. Each time Maureen tried to get clean, the lure of the drugs and the escape it provided proved too strong. In her autobiography, she admitted that during her early 20s, she sometimes traded sex for drugs. This revelation highlighted just how far America's sweetheart had fallen. The pressures of fame and the dark world of drugs meant Maureen's personal life was in shambles. She experienced 2 unplanned pregnancies that ended in abortion, adding to her emotional turmoil. The drugs took a heavy toll on her mental health, leading to severe depression and paranoia. These issues persisted even as she began her journey to recovery. The breaking point came during the filming of The Brady Brides. Maureen went missing for 3 days while on a drug binge. When her agent finally found her, she was in a compromised state that served as a wake-up call. This incident made it clear to her that something had to change. In her desperation, Maureen turned to psychologist Eugene Landy for help. However, this decision proved to be another misstep. Landy prescribed her numerous medications that only worsened her addiction, pushing her further down the spiral of substance abuse. You see, Maureen's struggle with addiction wasn't just about the drugs. It was about escaping the perfect image of Marsha Brady, an image she felt she could never live up to. Every line of cocaine, every pill was an attempt to distance herself from the flawless teenager she had portrayed on screen. After hitting rock bottom, Maureen wanted to rebuild her life from the ground up. She wanted to take control of her addiction. Maureen McCormick's journey to recovery began with a pivotal moment in 1985 when she married Michael Cummings. This union marked the start of her fight against addiction and mental health struggles. Her husband's unwavering support became a crucial foundation for her recovery. However, the road to healing wasn't smooth. Even after tying the knot, Maureen grappled with severe depression and paranoia. Maureen's path to recovery included multiple interventions, rehab stints, and experimental therapies. Despite these setbacks, Maureen persevered, determined to overcome her demons. A turning point came in the 1990s when Maureen began taking antidepressants like Prozac. For the first time in her life, she experienced a sense of normalcy. This medication played a crucial role in stabilizing her mental health. Maureen also found strength in spirituality. She reconnected with her faith, which provided her with a sense of purpose and helped her through the darkest moments of withdrawal and cravings, allowing her to focus on rebuilding her life and career. Through sheer determination, the support of loved ones, faith, and proper medications, Maureen McCormick finally broke free from the chains of addiction. She's been sober for decades now. This recovery opened doors that addiction had long kept shut. Maureen revamped her career, taking on new acting roles and exploring other creative pursuits. Most importantly, sobriety allowed Maureen to build the life she truly wanted. She embraced motherhood, finding joy in raising her daughter without the shadow of addiction looming over their relationship. In 2007, Maureen took a bold step by participating in VH1's Celebrity Fit Club. This wasn't just about losing weight. It was a public declaration of her struggles and her commitment to change. Maureen won the competition, shedding 34 pounds and gaining a new perspective on her emotional well-being. This experience helped her connect her weight issues to her emotional struggles, prompting her to address her mental health publicly. The following year, in 2008, Maureen made another brave move. She published her autobiography, Here's the Story: Surviving Marsha Brady and Finding My True Voice. In this raw and honest account, Maureen laid bare her struggles with addiction, mental health, and the pressure of living up to the Marsha Brady image. Writing the book was a cathartic experience for Maureen. She reflected on her journey, stating, "It took most of my life, countless mistakes, and decades of pain and suffering to reach this point of equanimity and acceptance." This powerful statement encapsulates the long and challenging road Maureen traveled to find peace and self-acceptance. The public response to her revelations in the book was monumental. The book debuted at number 4 on the New York Times bestseller list. It resonated with countless readers who saw McCormick not as the untouchable Marsha, but as a real vulnerable woman who had fought her way through darkness. Her bravery in sharing her journey allowed McCormick to finally step out of the Brady Bunch shadow and stand on her own. With her personal battles largely behind her, instead of hiding from her past identity, Maureen made a bold choice to embrace it fully and to help others. She began participating in Brady Bunch-related projects with a newfound enthusiasm. In 2019, she joined her former castmates for A Very Brady Renovation, a show that recreated the iconic Brady home. But Maureen's reemergence in the public eye wasn't limited to Brady-related ventures. In 2016, she took on a new challenge by competing on Dancing with the Stars. Finishing in 8th place, Maureen showcased her talents beyond acting and proved that she was much more than just Marsha Brady. Beyond these public moments, Maureen was working on something deeper. Drawing from her own struggles with addiction and depression, she's become a powerful voice for those facing similar challenges. Maureen has been open about her experiences, using her platform to destigmatize mental health issues and encourage others to seek help. She's spoken candidly about her battles with addiction, body image issues, and depression, offering hope to those who might be struggling in silence. By sharing her story, Maureen has shown that recovery is possible, even after years of hardship. Maureen's efforts to help others extend beyond just sharing her story. She's actively involved in various mental health initiatives and support groups, using her experiences to provide guidance and encouragement. Her message is clear. No matter how dark things may seem, there's always hope for a brighter future. Today, Maureen McCormick is a far cry from the troubled young woman who once traded sex for drugs. She has transformed from a troubled starlet into a mental health advocate, using her journey to inspire millions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos of beautiful actresses from the yesteryears.